awesome. What's up everyone, Irvine Garage here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to be fixing one of the problems I've faced with this BMW 328i. Now you guys will remember from one of my first videos how the power mirror was just all out of whack. That's actually where it's locked right now, but it won't fully extend. For some reason, anytime I would unlock the car, the mirror would fold in. That's one of the last things I had to fix, because right now it's not doing it because I have the fuse pulled out of the glove box. So I'm gonna be putting that back in, and I'm gonna try a few things to reset it. And then if not, the diagram says that there's basically two wires, and one is for the, I mean, there's more, there's a gearbox and everything, but there's basically two wires. One is for the power mirror function. So actually, when you're in your car and you can control where this is facing, like how far you want it out and everything. So that will still work, but the power mirror function won't fold, which is basically just, you know, folding your mirrors in when you're parking, and then whenever you're driving, you get up to 25 miles an hour and the car will automatically fold the windows. So we're gonna go ahead and dive in and try and fix that. But let's see a cold start on a bone stock 328i. Super quiet. Now we just did the AC on this thing. Well, we charged it. The AC should get a little bit colder. I'll let the car cool down so I can actually work on it. No, he's inside. He's inside. Yeah. Sorry, that was Uber Eats, but the car's actually making a really loud sound right now. What I was saying was, basically, turn this down so you can hear me. Oh, that's actually kind of loud. But when we were first checking to see like how hot the air was when I started the car, obviously it's a black car and we live in Florida, but it was like over, I want to say it was 109 degrees, 108 degrees, something like that. This is 114 degrees right now. The temperature of the air actually coming out of the AC, but I did get it down to, I think, the 40s. For some reason, it seems to be making a lot of noise. I don't know if that's the condenser, or maybe it's because it hasn't run in a few days. It's gonna be a little louder than usual. Okay, well, the AC is not perfect. It's a little better than it was. Seems like it's not as cold as it was, so I don't know if it's actually leaking refrigerant or anything. Feels decent. It's at least a little more bearable than being in a black car in direct sunlight working on it, so hopefully we can get this fixed. I'm gonna go ahead and put the old fuse back in, and then we'll get the mirrors to start doing what they do best, and see if we can fix this. I think I put the fuses in here. I gotta clean this out. There's a bunch of stuff in here. Let's see. Fuses. I believe it's fuse 21, because that goes with the mirrors and the windows, because I didn't really explain it that well, but basically, let's see if I can close this. Ooh. So when the car is, see, can I turn it on without the brake? Let's put it back on. There we go. Basically when the car is on, the windows won't work without the fuse. So none of the windows actually work. But if I go to one of the windows, it will still go down. I thought it was kind of strange. So I guess it just disables it for the driver's side. But let me go ahead and put this fuse back in and see what happens. Okay, turn the car back off. Okay, we should know right away if I get this in properly. I'm gonna try and put it in like this. Boom. Okay, so if that fixed anything when I press the unlock button, yep. Now I'm not sure if I actually want to do both of them because this one doesn't actually move, it's only that one. So let's go ahead and see if we can diagnose this a little bit. Okay, so basically out of what I've read, there's two things that you can do. And the first thing is you can try and trick the mirrors into resetting themselves. Let me do the other one. Awesome. Thinking we're gonna be already going with option 2. Let me see if I lock the car, we'll stop it. Is that like perfect? No. Okay. So it said basically you can trick it by trying to make them fold back in. It'll snap them, and then when you put it back out, it should travel to the right place. And that's not gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with option 2 because basically how this works is there's a gearbox on the inside of it and it has a home, you know, so when you're hearing this click, that's where it's registered to go. So it should be 2 homes, right? Where it is folded in and then where it is folded out. It's not even clicking there anymore. I think it's because I was rotating so much. Let me see if I can. Now, the only problem I have with option 2 is basically there's 2 wires, like I said before. One controls the power mirrors, one controls the folding. And if I snap the folding and it's not in the right place, right? So it's not at home, then wherever I have them, that's where they're gonna stay. So pushed out to where the mirror should be is not gonna feel right. And if you even touch it a little bit, the mirror's gonna move. But if I move it back into place, that's where it should be, and I need to make it so the gearbox is locked with this out. Now, don't know how I'm gonna do that. So it kind of looks like there's a place where you can kind of see where it should be. See if you can see that. Of course. But it looks like they have grooves of where it should be, so maybe where I was thinking it should be fully extended, that's not true. I wonder what happens if I just force it, just hold it. Okay. That actually looks pretty aligned. Let me see how that looks from a driver's perspective. I mean, it looks right. Let me see if I can. I should be able to still adjust them. Yeah, okay. That's perfect, honestly. I'm not even gonna touch the other mirror. So let's just move on to option 2. Okay, so I got something a little longer and flatter. Might be a little easier. There we go. Okay. Shit. Huh. It's actually okay. So basically from what I've read, hopefully it's a little better in place. I'll see if I can secure this a little bit, but basically from what I've read, the yellow wire is the power mirror function. So that's the actual folding of the mirror, you know, when you're backing up and the mirror tilts and the controlling how far you want it out and everything. So that's the yellow wire, and then the white wire is the power mirror function. So I don't know if I have to do it on both of them. I believe that it is on both mirrors, but you only have to do it to the ones that are broken. The other gearbox seems fine. It folds in and out perfectly, so maybe snapping this wire, I mean, it's gonna be a little weird when you press the power mirror function and that one doesn't work. Oh, great. Well, now I have to hopefully reset this one back in the right place. Okay, actually, I got that kind of fast. So, I'm gonna snap this wire before anything else can happen. I'm gonna try and do it where it'll be easy to splice if they do notice it. Okay. Well, that's that. So now I guess we got another moment of truth here. If I click the unlock button, or the lock button, then the unlock button, the mirror should fold. Let's see. Okay, let's see from the inside of the car. Okay, so if I click the power mirror function, that mirror folds, which that one still is making a loud noise. Let's see. Actually, that one folds out perfect. Now, let's see about the lock. Okay, so that mirror's still folding when I put the car in reverse, which is something I was worried about because that's a nice feature. And somebody would definitely notice that when they're driving it, or test driving it. But, so I should be able to move the mirror. Okay, so I can still adjust them. And the windows work, at least the switches for the driver's side. Okay, I didn't break any of the tabs, which is good. This should just snap back into place. So I can do it with one hand. Boom. Okay. Looks good. Not moving. So I'm actually going to take this car on a little test drive because tomorrow is Mother's Day and I still have not gotten anything. Whew. Thought 100% I was going to get pulled over. This is actually a decent little car now, and that $7 and whatever cents actually got me a quarter tank of gas. I'm not trying to fill it for, you know, the next person. I plan on selling this as soon as possible. So mirror's not moving in on its own. Car's not vibrating when I drive it. Brakes feel a lot better. I think they just had some residue on them because I mean, I don't know how long the car's been sitting, but the car's actually pretty fine. Nice little perk also is that I can park it close without having to worry about door dings like my car, because obviously she's already had her fair share. But not gonna bring you guys in, but I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so this is actually the first time taking it on a little bit. Let's see if it'll start. Perfect. Off the hook. Okay, so we are back, and I wanted to end this video with this. You guys probably already saw in the title, I wanted to make, you know, a video about doing the finished adjustment of the car, and there wasn't really much to do. I just had to fix the mirror and a few other little things I didn't even record. But something that kind of came across when I was selling the car, because as you know, the car's listed for sale, as I said in the previous video. The car's been listed probably for a week or so now. You know, I have it on the basics, Craigslist, Let Go, Offer Up, which I don't like that new Craigslist thing, as you guys know, the new $5 rule, because they've been doing it for dealers forever, you know, so they would have to pay per post, but now they're doing it to private, which it's smart, but I think Craigslist should keep everything free, especially, I mean, obviously you should still charge the dealers, but keep it free for people that are doing it for personal use, and they should just charge to have like a promoted post, you know, like your post shows up first, something like that. But anyways, I put it on the basics, you know, Let Go, Offer Up. As soon as I start put it on Craigslist, that's when I start to get, you know, you get the weird offers, you get tire kickers, you get people that aren't interested. They'll go, oh, you know, they'll ask you a few questions about the car and then stop answering, you know, people that aren't super interested, or maybe they have a few options. But like, for example, like some people try to sell you stuff. I had a guy email me asking about the VIN on the car, asking, you know, if it had any accidents or anything. And I was like, no, I have the VIN check and everything, and I can send it over to you. And I sent it to him, and then he's like, oh, if you don't have it, you should get it here, you know, buying whatever their service. I'm sure he's an affiliate or something. But one that I got an email for, which is kind of interesting, was basically the overpaying for a car scam. So basically how this works is they will shoot you a number that's usually more than what you want for the car, or the exact listing price, it depends. But there's a couple ways that they can do this, and the way they're trying to do it with me is they offer me $7,000. I have the car listed for like $49.88, like a really weird price. It was like right, you know, median Kelly Blue Book value, and I was like, that's exactly what I said in the listing. So, but I put it at just a weird price, so it kind of stands out. And they offered me $7,000, which I already thought was weird. I, you know, like some people will pay retail, like some dealers, for, you know, like a buy here, pay here lot, because if you can buy, you know, a 2004, 2005 Corolla or Camry or something really reliable that they know they can make their interest on over the next 5 or 10 years. You know, they'll make an extra $10,000 and buy it at retail and won't really lose any money because the car's reliable. More than likely, if it has, you know, under 150,000 miles, the car's going to go. I mean, those cars with good maintenance go 200,000 plus. So something like that would make sense, but not for a high mileage BMW. So I already thought it was kind of weird. The guy said that he would send me a cashier's check, which I told him to just send it because, you know, I'm just trying to waste this guy's money because he'll have to send it. I said send it priority because the car's going to be gone. So he's sending me a cashier's check, but what they'll do is they'll send you a cashier's check for more than what you paid. And he already said it. He already said in the messages. I'll probably put them up right now. That I'm gonna have to pay the shipping person. You know, like you have the check already, and you pay the shipping person when they come to pick up the car. So they'll, you know, send you $7,000. Say that you need to pay the shipping person $600 or $700 or something like that, and you will pay them out of pocket. And then by the time, you know, the car's gone and the check balances, you were not only out the car, but you're out the $750, you know. So they'll, I don't know, some people part out the car, some people try to sell them in other areas. Like where I first heard about this, which you guys may have heard about this before, it was a couple, I don't know exactly where they were. I knew it was somewhere up north, and they had a newer C6, you know, low mileage Corvette, something a $30,000-$40,000 car that they put up for sale, and someone immediately was like asking them a bunch of questions, seemed really legit, and they sent them immediately overnight mail cashier's check. Same thing that this guy's probably going to send me and waste his money on is they'll send you the full purchase price. Sometimes I think theirs was a little bit different. The guy sent them the full amount, was like $42,000 or something like that, and he sent them the check and said that, you know, a car or a transport company's going to come and pick it up in the middle of the night, just have the car ready. So he said it was some weird time, and they're like, oh, truckers work at all times of the night. Not really a big deal. So they put the car in the driveway. They already had the check. They called the bank and said, oh, is this a legit check? Because they were still somewhat weary about it, but they wanted to sell the car so bad, and they go, oh, it's a cashier's check. It's guaranteed. And because most cashier's checks are legit, you know, if you have the bank on front and back, and they're not that hard to fake. So they ended up sending him a cashier's check. They called the bank. The bank's like, oh, yeah, it's guaranteed. It's a cashier's check. So they'll do it towards the end of the week, just like how this guy did it. So I got the email yesterday, and that was a Friday. So obviously they're banking on the fact that I'll get it in the mail, and I'll have the check and whatever, and I won't be able to, you know, take it to the bank or ask them if it's legit until the following Monday when the car will already be gone. So they'll do some things like that. But basically the guy got an email from someone that the car was for sale in a different state for, you know, something super cheap. Like it was something like half the price of what he had it for sale for, which obviously is a red flag. And they started investigating immediately. The check bounced, obviously. I think it had 2 different banks on it. But I thought that was kind of interesting. Just a weird scam that people are trying to pull, and just putting this out there. Maybe one of you guys will not do that and will not get scammed out of your money. But I'm going to ask this guy, as soon as the check comes, I'm going to ask him for a little bit more and say, you know, I don't think I should pay the shipping company that much. Maybe you should send me a couple $100 extra. I know he will, and he'll send me another check, and I'll just keep running through this guy's priority mail money. But just a little thing I wanted to add, obviously, to make this video a little longer, because I didn't really do much to the car. But I actually am meeting someone tomorrow to sell the car. So hopefully that car will be gone, and there's going to be a new car in the driveway. So once again, comment something down below that you'd like to see on the channel. You know, car, truck, 2-door, Beamer, Mercedes, whatever you guys want to see. Comment something down below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace.